are now listening to Kandid+Discussions live on Rip Radio. Kandid+Discussions serves you up with the best place to be to discuss love, dating, relationships, and all the obstacles that come with them. Kick back and listen to Kandy and Unrestricted D on Kandid+Discussions.
Welcome to Kandid+Discussions. I am Kandy.
And I'm Unrestricted D.
And tonight we have, I don't know what to call you now. We have one of our close friends, Thumper, in the studios to discuss tonight's topics. Our other guest is just running a smidge late and should be joining us in a few minutes.
Hello, Thumper. Welcome to Kandid+Discussion.
Welcome,
Thank you all
Thumper.
for having me. I appreciate
You
it.
gotta
Talk
talk
to the mic, sir.
Thank you
You
all.
can lift it,
Push up.
sir. There you go.
Sorry.
Thank you all for having me. I appreciate it.
Adjust it right, sir. Up. There you go. All right. So, if this is your first time tuning into Kandid+Discussion, we normally talk about relationships, dating, sex, finances.
I think our first show was on Always a Bridesmaid, Never a Bride. So it was just...
friendships. We talk
talk-
about a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and
There's no topic that we will not discuss.
facts, except politics. I ain't talking politics.
We talk politics.
Yes.
I just got to learn them first.
Right.
But tonight's topic is
Dating versus dating.
exactly what is that?
Are you dating for company or companionship, or are you dating because you're interested in a relationship?
Or marriage, as it was put on my page. I didn't even think about the marriage part.
True.
Okay.
True.
All right. So, Thumper,
Sir?
would you consider yourself, are you dating, first of all? Let me ask you that question.
No, I'm not actively dating at the moment.
Okay. So, when you were dating for a relationship or companionship?
Well, for me, it was dependent on the person that I was actually engaging with. If I knew that you weren't necessarily a relationship type or marriage type, then I just took the fun where it was. Let's go to the movies, let's go eat, let's go have some fun. But mentally speaking, I didn't actually equate that to anything other than that. Like, it was just, let's have fun, which
Okay.
is different from companionship, because you can have companionship but not actually want to date anybody, not actually want to go out, let's be intimate, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Okay, you got actually made a little point. As I said, a little point. So, what? Break that last part down. You said actually have companionship, but not. Did you say have companionship, but not have companionship?
Yeah, I could break that down for you. So, in my opinion, I've dated a few people, and some of those people didn't want to go out. They didn't want to, like, I didn't want to do the movies. I didn't want to actually go clubbing. I didn't want to go to museums. I didn't want nothing like that. It was more so, let's sit in the house, let's cook, let's, watch some movies. That's companionship. Dating is when you're out and about doing stuff. You all have that mutual understanding that we're going to do something. Something is always planned. So that's what I equate dating to versus companionship, when you want that intimacy. You want that that romantic aspect of being with somebody. So dating, you could date anybody, but you don't want to be a companion with everybody.
So, I guess I shouldn't have said companionship, because to me, companionship is too close to relationship. So our original was dating for company, which is not companionship. So do you think you date for company, or you date, but you say you don't date for relationship?
It's a variable. It depends on how we met, where we met, the atmosphere, the energy that was exchanged. Like, if I know I meet somebody at a club and I know that you drunk and we just decided to exchange numbers and, we're texting, all right, let's meet up here, let's get something to eat, blah, blah, blah. I can deal with that, but mentally speaking, I'm not going to equate that to wanting companionship with you, because companionship is earned. You don't give your companionship to everybody. You can date a million people and never want to have their companionship. So it just depends on, like, who that person is that you're engaging with at the moment.
Well, Kandy,
Yes, sir.
when you was out on the scene, what would you consider yourself doing? dating for companionship
You don't want to know what I really
or
was dating for.
dating for a relationship?
Facts.
Let's see. When I dated you, or when I started.
No, let's take me out of the equation.
Okay, let's take
just
you out the
say
equation
when
because
you
we
were
already know how that ended. Before you, it was maybe 2 people I dated for a relationship. The rest I dated for company.
Okay.
Because
Company or companionship?
Companionship. I think companionship and relationship companionship to me moves along towards relationship. I dated for company, just because I wanted to go do something.
Okay.
Or because I needed sex.
Okay.
Facts.
Myself, I dated for, I guess, companionship, because if I wanted to do something, I just wanted to do it with a female. It was just, it didn't necessarily have to be somebody I was digging or whatever the case may be. But it just had to be someone that I could tolerate for a short period of time.
So maybe we need to come up with a clear definition on dating, because I know men, females, whoever, definition of dating can differ. So what is your definition of dating, Thumper?
My definition of dating is we can hang out, we can link up, we can hang out, we can link up, we can, deal with each other. There is occasional sex, but I don't equate that to longevity. I don't think that, and it's also cultural these days. People look at dating as, okay, I'm hanging out with this person, we're texting, we're liking each other's pictures on Instagram, social media aspect of it, but it's not. Dating is it's hard to, honestly, in this culture, it's hard to explain what dating is, because you would think that dating is preparation for, those big steps, those 3 words, the vows, all that. But culturally, is real. You don't know. You don't have a definition. It is what it is the moment that it's happening.
Okay.
All right. Everyone, we have a standing member of Kandy Discussions. She's going to come in. She always shakes stuff up when she gets here. Mrs. Charlie tonight. Welcome,
Hello,
Charlie.
Hello,
Welcome,
everyone.
Charlie.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you're just coming in, so we're going to give a quick recap, because you know how fast the hour can go.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so, tonight's topic is dating for companionship versus dating for relationship / marriage. Are you dating?
No, I'm not.
When you were dating, were you dating for companionship or relationship?
I would say companionship.
Okay. Now, you just joined. What is your definition of dating, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, my definition of dating is you're actually doing something more than just hanging out. You're actually being involved with each other's lives, whatever that means. If it means you go to events together, you're talking about different things that happen in your life, someone you can unwind about work, things of that nature. That, to me, that's when you're dating. You're getting to know someone that may lead to something else or may not lead to something else. But the point is, they're more involved in your life than just something casual.
Okay.
Okay, so me and Kandy had a discussion the other day, and we were talking about the hanging out.
Yes.
So we hang out, right?
Correct.
So if I would say, Charlie, let's meet up for lunch, is that a lunch date or is that hanging out?
It's a meetup.
Because it's Charlie.
Yeah, it's a meetup. It's just you're
So it
hanging
depends
out.
on the level of the person that you're with.
Yeah, it depends
Thumper.
on how you. To me, it depends on your intent.
Exactly.
Hanging out means if I hit you well, not you because you're my husband, but if I hit them 2 up and say, "Hey, let's hang out," it's nothing going to be more than us just hanging out and talking. But go ahead.
So Thumper, real quick, before I move on, if someone do you consider that a lunch date or do you consider that just hanging out or meeting up?
Well, in that particular instance, I think vernacular is extremely important because you have friends that you can joke with, that you can use certain words with, but the general spectrum of it is, what do you define dating as? If I was to text Charlie and say, hey, Charlie, let's meet up for lunch, I would call it a lunch date because it's a date for lunch at that specific time. That doesn't mean that it's anything intimate. That doesn't mean that it's going to be anything more than just meeting up, quote unquote, for lunch. But I would consider it a lunch date because we're going on a lunch date.
Yes,
now, it wouldn't be anything other than...
But would it be dating?
No. So you're not dating, and that's why I say vernacular is important in that structure because it's a date. We're going to meet up at this time. I mean, for all intents and purposes, we can call it a meetup, but I think it's a date because you agreed to meet me at this time. We're going to go enjoy some food, some laughs, some company. To me, those are all the qualities of a date. Dating is not necessarily intimate. It's just dating.
All right, so real quick,
Okay.
if you could feel like you want to give some input, the number is 301-232-5700. Once again, the number is 301-232-5700. Charlie, go ahead.
Now, I think that presently the word date has been thrown out, has been redefined, has been skewed. So a lot of people get confused on if it's a date, because if you ask someone 10 years ago, a lunch date is a lunch date. It is just as simple. Now, if you say lunch date, everyone will start getting in their head, start thinking, okay, what does this mean? Where is this going? What should I do? How should I take this? When you say date, does this really mean a date, or are we? So it's so ambiguous right now, the word date.
I think women made it that way.
No, I think society. I think because we've crossed lines, we shifted into a different mindset on what is dating and what is courting, what is relationships and stuff like that. So therefore, everyone is scared to say I went on a lunch date with someone when it was just innocent. It was just, okay, let's meet for some food and have some laughs and talk.
And y'all pay for yourselves.
Exactly. So when I use the word meet up, it's really just so it could be defined that this is nothing intimate. This is not something that we're going to, get married and 2 days later. This is just simply a date. But if I say the word date, everyone start getting in their head, like, what does that really mean? So if I say a meetup, I think it's really clear. We're just meeting up for whatever it is. So I'm not downplaying the word date. It's just that because it's so ambiguous at this point in time in life, that it needs to be clear. What are we doing?
There's also the term meetup. A lot of people equate that to physicality.
True,
I'm meeting up with
true,
somebody.
true.
I'm meeting up with somebody. Oh, me and such meeting up, for lunch. That's what I'm doing on my lunch hour. We're meeting up. So that's why I say the culture, who you're dealing with, the friends that you surround yourself with, affirmation in this instance is key. Like if I text my roommate and said I was going on a lunch date, first thing he gonna say is, who are you dating? But if I came at him jokingly and said I'm gonna meet up with somebody, he's going to say something different. So it's the culture, who you associate with.
That's true.
How you present that situation.
Go ahead and read your definition.
So I'm going to read what Wikipedia said. Wikipedia said, dating is a stage of romantic relationship in humans whereby two people meet socially with the aim of each assessing the other's suitability as a prospective partner in an intimate relationship. It is a form of courtship consisting of social activities done by the couple, either alone or with others. The protocol and practice of dating and these terms used to describe it vary considerably from country to country and over time. While the term has several meanings, the most frequent usage refers to two people exploring whether they are romantically or sexually compatible by participating in dates with the others. With the use of modern technology, people can use different things, but that's the thing of dating.
Okay, so
That was a punch right there.
I don't.
What? But
That whole definition.
I don't ever recall so dating, is that going out more than once with one particular person, or dating is still considered dating if you're going out with multiple people?
I mean, some people look at it as like, I'm dating multiple people. What means you'll go out with this person, you'll go out with that person. You might not go with them a bunch of times. But then some people also say the word like, I'm dating Charlie.
So what is your consideration? I mean, what would you consider? You saying dating multiple people or dating one person is considered dating to you?
Both. I
Okay.
think both of them are dating.
Thumper?
I think that was a fair assessment of the definition, what she said.
Charlie?
Yes, and that's exactly what I've been saying, what dating was.
Dating multiple people?
Well, dating multiple people, I believe people can date multiple people for a relationship.
Well, I agree.
To see if who's gonna fare out better. Just leaving your options open. I think people do it. I'm not saying that it's the best thing to do, but I'm just saying that people do it.
Okay. Well, I've always dating. I've always been dating. I've been known as a serial dater, I guess. per se.
Serial relationshiper.
No, dater. No, I can't say serious relationship because only people know if I was actually serious with them.
Uh,
I can't say relationship.
all right.
But good try.
Right. You the one who told me. But so what is your views on people who date just for company
I don't think
and why they do it?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean, human nature, people want to feel comfortable, feel secure, feel needed, and things of that nature. So therefore, dating for companionship seems like the natural process in finding a relationship. So, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to end up in a relationship. It just seems like it's the natural progression. There's nothing wrong with dating for companionship.
So can I ask? Go ahead, Thumper. I'll let you answer first. Go ahead.
So there are elements of that I agree with, but then there are elements that I don't agree with because, like I stated before, I don't personally believe that dating is indicative of wanting companionship, just like simply wanting companionship is indicative of wanting to go on a date. I can ask you out, let's go on a date, to try to get to know you, see how you are around other people, what type of person you are. That's my definition. Well, not my definition. That's what I expect to do on a date. But if I actually invite you to my home for companionship, I'm cooking, I rented movies or we're Netflixing or something like that, I expect a certain level of companionship. Dating is not going to get you companionship. It's going to get you, it's going to make me see who you are, and then maybe there'll be companionship, but they're two totally different things in my opinion.
So
I'm sorry.
Oh, go
I
ahead.
think that's why I changed the question to company, because companionship is too close to a relationship.
Okay, so be that as it may, the same is still applicable. If
Okay.
I invite you over for company, I want your company. I want to be more intimate. I don't want to hear the music in the background. I don't want to hear the cars honking. I don't want to hear none of that. I want to get to know you more intimately to see if it can advance to a companionship relationship. But if we're out dating, I'm going to be a little bit more unhinged, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm going to probably be drinking more. I'm probably going to like, I'm doing things that I don't think that if I'm getting your companionship, you should be privy to, because those types of things are reserved for friends, cousins, when you're going out, just hanging out.
Okay.
So should there be a disclaimer if you just want companionship?
I think so, because, so here you have people who date for different reasons. So there are people who want travel base, and that's all they want. And to me, that's a dating with for a companion, because they're going out on what is considered a date, which is traveling. There are people who just want to have a movie date. There are people who they really do want companionship. They don't want a relationship. They just want someone to be physically next to them, someone to discuss X, Y, and Z, someone to talk about whatever it is that we're doing, and leave it there. So there are different types of dating to me, and I wouldn't say it all end up in relationship status, but I think that the companionship portion of it is key. I think, to me, it's not dating without companionship. It's just a meetup.
Okay.
Y'all in this meetup. Let me tell you this. If I'm out somewhere with a female and one of my white friends see me out with that female, guarantee she ain't gonna say, he out there in the meetup. Like her friend gonna be like, oh, he out there dating somebody. True or false?
I don't know. I don't use that term.
But see, that goes back to I agree. That goes back to vernacular. Like, you have to know what you're saying, who you're saying it to. Audience is key, because if I saw you out with a female during lunchtime, knowing that you're married, knowing that I'm really good friends with your wife, I wouldn't think that you're on a date. I would be like, oh, look at Duane. He on a little lunch date with his friend. I wouldn't think that you're on a date intimately with somebody, because I know you and Kandy are like that. It wouldn't register to me like that. But if I text you and say, oh, I saw you on your little lunch date, you would laugh because you know that I know what's going on. Like, it's a difference.
So what if you saw one of your friends' spouses? Let's say you happen to run past them and you sit behind them in the movies, them and someone else that wasn't their wife. Would you consider that a date, or them hanging out?
Is the movie rated G? Is it rated R?
So does it depend on where you see someone at, if it's considered a date as well?
I think body language. I don't want to get too. I don't get too far. I don't want to get too far past the actual question, but I think body language plays a role. If they're playing a song in a club, and I know that you're married, and she a little too close, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna pop up on you, because we brothers like that. I'm restricted. What you doing, bro? Like, come on. But if it's somebody that I know you not into, that it's just joking, and you know she dancing on you, but it's nothing like intimate, I'm gonna be like, yeah, brother, get it, because I know it's not gonna advance anywhere. But it's also like the environment that you're in, the audience, like what's going on.
So back to your question of a movie date, like you said, body language. So if you guys are a little snugged up too close, I'm stepping in. I mean, I'm like, who is this? This is not Kandy.
So let's say, for instance,
and that's just me.
We had the movies right here, and let's just say, you know, we like this watching the movie. Is that questionable?
I mean, that one give me a cause for pause.
So, but if I'm like this, let's just say I'm on like this,
and it's her response. It's how she's sitting next to you. So if you got your arm around her and she's sitting, her posture is straight up, then I know it's nothing serious. If she's relaxed and she's leaning into you, then that's a body language of intimacy.
Maybe she's just not used to being around a strong man such as myself.
Maybe she shouldn't be there. Maybe she shouldn't be there.
How did she get there?
Like, how did you get here?
So, I mean, that's kind of virtual from dating. But the point is that, just like Thumper said, body language says a lot about what kind of date it is. If it's a companionship, if it's just a, as I like to call it, a meetup.
True.
Okay, but
because if I see one of my friends and somebody else that ain't their spouse, and let's say I walk into somewhere, one of these nice restaurants, they got candles, rose petals on the table, I'm not gonna think they hanging out. I'm gonna think they on a date.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in reference to that, I believe asking questions is paramount to getting like whatever it is that you need to know. We can jump to conclusions all day.
Yes,
we can
sir.
say blah, 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 blah. But Charlie, for example, I consider her to be a good friend. If she was to up and call me and say, Thump, man, I had a bad day. I really need something to distract me from everything that's going on. If I were to say, actually, no, let me not use me as an example. If she called Duane and said, Duane, I had a really bad day. I need something to get my mind off of it. I'm struggling right now mentally with my day. It's a lot going on. And Duane said, all right, meet me here at this time. I'm going to make sure I put a smile on your face. They're just friends. He decided that she had a bad day because of what she said. He had a couple candles, got a nice bottle of wine. We friends. I want to make sure that you know that this is not the end. So, like, you have to, it carries weight who you're dealing with, the timing, the situation. I mean, in my mind, if I saw that, if I walked into a nice restaurant where you decided to take Charlie after she called you and said it was going to be a long day, I would question it, but then I would also question, all right, I know that they're not like that. So what questions can I ask to get an answer that I know I'm looking to receive?
Can I ask you a personal question? What is your sign?
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, I kind of figured that. Great sign.
You should
You
have.
think like a boss.
Lord, here we go.
Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
It's two of
I
them.
just sensed
But,
something there.
but no, I'm just saying perception is reality. And
You think like a player.
no, I don't, because the truth is, and no, I don't.
She just trying to make fun of you.
No, I don't think like a player. What I think like, I think logically. I think if it's not affecting me to the point where it's going to destroy me, I can ask more questions. Like I can be responsible enough to say, all right, I know this, I know this, I know this, I know this. But knowing what I know, I have something in front of me that's not supposed to be adding up. It is my responsibility. I have to do my own due diligence. I have to say, all right, Mike, Thump, what are you missing here? Ask appropriate questions to get the answer that you want. Because in our culture, we react way faster than we're supposed to.
Yep.
Everything,
And jump
I
to
saw
too
you
many
with that, I
conclusions.
saw you with that
Yeah.
dude, I saw you with that, blah, blah, blah. And you're like,
Wait.
calm down.
All right, so not to cut you off. So Smokey said, I can be your travel bae. We can travel to Hawaii Avenue. Then Tina chimes in and says, nah, that's cheating. She said she needs to call a girlfriend, not Dwayne.
Facts.
Tina, can you please call it
Facts.
301-232-5700. Once again, that's 301-232-5700.
Well, that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, that's a whole
Getting
nother
into
show. That's a whole nother show.
Male-female friendships.
Yes, because
That's a whole nother
show.
topic.
Okay,
Stay
that might be
tuned
next
for
week.
For the next one.
That might be next week.
That's a whole nother
That's
show.
a whole nother topic.
I think we're becoming I think this culture has become incredibly sensitive to how male and females should interact just because they have a significant other, they're in a relationship or they're married. I'm going to treat all of my female friends the exact same way that I treated them before.
Exactly.
That doesn't
Thank you.
mean, and I'm going to treat.
You cannot.
You can.
You,
You can.
I'm telling you, you should not.
Well, yeah.
Not saying you can. You should not. If your response was, let's say, you might have always treated your female friends like, oh, come sit on my lap, let me give you a massage.
like that.
I mean, but that's what
But you said- but that's what you said. You
But that's
said-
the separation, the degrees of separation. So at what point do you change how you treat your female friends to the woman that's in your life?
First of all, your woman or your man is supposed to know you as an individual, and they will already kind of know the dynamics of what's going on.
So I get the. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No.
No, I get the respect. I get the respect factor. But if I've known Charlie for 20 years, I mean, we done been through it. College, we done everything. We done everything that you can name under the sun without actually ever being intimate. And she suddenly decides, or a guy steps into her life and they're cool, they're getting to know each other. I expect for said gentlemen to understand that sometimes when we go to a club and they play back that ass up, Charlie's going back that ass up on me. Like, and you can't get mad because for 20 years this has been the dynamics of our friendship. You can't get jealous, you can't get mad because at the end of the day, you have the ring. So it's I
So
don't
that
know.
goes back to a conversation we had before. Not to veer too much over here, but it's a matter of making the other person feel secure in your relationship with your friend. So it's how you present them, it's how you have the conversation and everything. So as a woman, if I had a male friend, which I do have a lot of male friends, and he he now has a significant other, I don't expect to be in center and up front anymore. Like he's
Facts.
now have someone else. So to think that I should be, to me, is disrespectful to that relationship. I want that relationship to grow and blossom as much as I can. I don't want to be interfering in that relationship. I know that although I came to you and talked to you about everything under the sun, I'm going to hold back a little bit. I'm going to pull back a little bit because I want to give your relationship time to settle in and to become. and to become
We gotta
more
call-
We gotta call
solid
Charlie.
before
Charlie,
I.
Charlie.
No,
We
I
gotta
just
call-
want to finish my sentence.
I know, but we
Sorry.
only got an hour, child. We only got an
I
hour.
was finishing about my sentence.
That was a
Don't be
good
cutting
point,
my
though.
friend Charlie off like that.
I know.
That was
I
a
was
good
like,
point.
That was in a sentence.
You can
What about a
finish.
sentence? I understand it was
We
a
got to say hi to the caller.
Hello, caller. How are you?
Hi, caller.
Now you want to let Charlie
ahead,
say
finish,
her so we
Charlie.
can cut you off.
It's good. It's all good.
Go ahead, caller.
I'm good. I'm good. How's everybody doing?
Great. How are you?
So I'm gonna ask you this question because I already know who it is. How is it weird if you all?
What?
How is it weird if you both supposed to be friends with the person?
Well, in my situation, anytime I'm friends, I have a girlfriend, and they bring their significant other into the circle. I knew the girl first, in every way, shape, or form within my circle. All of my female friends have brought guys. I met them through them. So if they no longer with the guy, I'm not rocking with that guy. Like, it's just what it is. So if I'm having a bad day, why the fuck am I calling my friend's man just because I'm cool with him? Like, that shit is weird. Like, I can call her or any of my other friends or my other male friends. I'm not gonna. I don't expect any of my female friends to call my nigga just because we're all cool. Are you?
Is
Bitch,
that
get the fuck out of my face.
is that a security
no, I'm
thing?
off
But
even
that's-
answering
that's
the
not what we
question,
said.
actually.
Why not?
It's a respect thing.
But that's
So
not-
I can't call Charlie.
If you're having
Oh,
a
we
bad
talking
day,
about
you
me.
need to
I'm sorry.
you need to work that out with your spouse before you take it out house.
I
Yeah.
don't- but I
You-
don't-
you-
I can't give it.
You
this.
shouldn't be
But
because
that's
there's
not-
no reason for my friends to be up in our business if I ain't tell them.
Maybe it don't have nothing to
Right,
do
I'm
with
not
you.
hitting Dwayne up.
But
Oh, I
wait,
had a bad
wait.
day.
So
I
that
know you're
wasn't-
funny. What? No.
That wasn't his.
I would hit
No, that
Smokey
wasn't.
up.
That wasn't what the
know what I'm
consensus
saying?
was.
Candy put this other
Wait,
dynamic.
so
in
that
it,
wasn't what the
Charlie.
consensus was. What was stated was if you were friends with
changing.
somebody for a long period of time and then you have a new spouse, partner, potential husband, potential wife, and the person who you were friends with for years prior has that same relationship with them. We're not talking about if I'm dating somebody or if I'm dating someone and my friend decides to call my significant other. Yeah, that's weird and it's unacceptable, and tables will be flipped at that point. But we're talking about if you've been friends with somebody for a while, they should be understanding of the dynamic between the friendship.
True, but what we said
boundaries.
about that
I don't
dynamic
do that
is
either.
something's going to shift. Everything you did with that person before, you may not be able to. Let's say y'all relationship was that y'all tongue kiss. It's extreme, but that was y'all relationship. Y'all had no problem tongue kissing. But
Let's
now-
do something
that's
realistic.
it. I mean,
Candy.
that's
Come on now.
extreme.
So let's
It's
do something realistic.
Y'all
that
relationship.
everybody can relate to. Let's say, for instance, if you and your friend went to the movies every Sunday for the past 3 years together.
Mm-hmm.
You already know coming to picture when you was already dating that person or whatever the case may be that they was going on movies, outings, meetups, hookups, dates, whatever we want to say it for the last 3 years.
So if I am going out with Thumper and I started dating you and I go out with Thumper every Monday to go to the movies and you know it and you start to date me knowing that I continue to do it, then that's on you. But if you say, hey, I can't date you because I would like to go to movies and you go to movies every Monday with Thumper, I need some of those movies. If I say, oh, you know what, I'm going to cut back on Thumper, I'm going to give you some of that time too because you deserve to go to the movies too. Then if we had that discussion and I agree that I will stop doing it and give you some of the time and I continue to still do it instead with him, then that's the issue.
But why would you want to feel like you have to give an ultimatum?
You don't give an ultimatum, but you give people your hard nose, point blank. If I am a movie, if me and Thumper go to the movies and I'm a movie head, and you're a movie head, and we get together, and now you can't go see certain movies with me because you're always going with Thumper, I will feel some type of way because I'm your spouse. Thumper should go find his own goddamn spouse to go to movies with sometimes. Give me some of it. I didn't say all, but you need to give your wife or your spouse some of what you've given everybody else.
So I have a quick question. Is that somebody that you're dating should be understanding of the rules and regulations as it pertains to dating Because if I'm dating you, it's gonna be okay for me to date someone else. Or are we talking about companionship? Whoever you're engaging with company-wise should understand that you're dating somebody, or that you're going out on active dates with other people.
Right, and see, that's why I start off saying.
We still got Tay on the line.
Sorry, Tay.
I was on the phone. I was just listening like I was watching the
Tay, like I did call.
Go ahead, Tay.
No, I'm waiting for a question. I don't know where I'm at right now.
So Tay, let me ask you a question. So do you have mutual friends that you know, both the male and the female? That has been in a relationship or is in a relationship? Huh?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, so you don't feel like you can call one without the other and not be a problem?
I'm gonna say I just don't, because anybody that I have that's in a relationship and I know the guy or the girl, I knew one of them first. I didn't meet any of those couples together. See what I'm saying? I'm a boundary type of person. I'm not going to hit up a guy at all. Like women, I can hit them up all day. Oh, let's hang out, let's talk. You know, I need a shoulder to cry on. I'm not doing that with no girl's man. I don't care if I've known him for 5 minutes, 5 years, 30 years. Like I have a male friend I've had for 28 years. He's married now. I'm not feeling comfortable hitting him up, saying, oh, I need to talk, let's meet up over dinner. No, that's somebody's husband. I'm just not going to do that. Like, I think that's boundaries. Like, I'm not going to be okay with my husband doing that with some girl he grew up with, and then I'm not there. No, I'm a boundary person. That's just what it is. It's a hard no.
Okay. Go ahead.
Does that talk about the quality of your friendship? If you don't feel comfortable hitting up somebody that you've known for 28 years, bro?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Tay, for calling.
I agree with them.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
All right, so let's reel this thing back in.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't even know.
Dating. All right, so our topic
Dating
is
for companionship.
It's about 20 different topics for other different shows. And
dating for relationship, dating for relationship, or dating for company. Do you see?
Keep saying company.
Well, that's
I'm gonna say
that's what you told me
companionship.
from the beginning. Yeah.
No,
All
I
right.
never said company.
You
Okay.
did. Okay. All right. So dating for companion, I have a hard time with companionship. Companionship to me is close to relationship. Like it's like when you're looking for companionship, sometimes to me it's like it's too blurry. It's like a relationship to me. Company means that I'm dating you, Charlie, this week because I need company to go to the movies, and I'm dating you this week, Thumper, because I want to go dancing, and I'm dating you this week, Duane, because I want to go bowling. So that's me. That's what I equate to dating for company.
Me personally, I never want to be considered someone's company. That's just me personally. I'd rather be give someone companionship versus, hey, this is my company. I may be company per se, but don't be like, hey, this is my company.
Okay. Charlie, you look like you in thought.
I wrote notes on this one because I still consider it a separate. Companionship and relationship is separate.
Yes.
I think that when you date with companionship, it's a relationship without an attachment. But you have someone to talk to, you vetting ideas and thoughts, you going to get advice, it's things of that nature. It's not really a relationship where you're actually like, okay, we're going to be together forever and that type of deal. You're just someone you can confide in, someone you can do multiple things, not just one particular thing. That you can, oh, you know what? I'm in an adventurous mood. I want to try something. And they're like, okay, I'm down, and we're going. And that's someone you trust, someone you feel comfortable with. To me, that's your companionship. When you talk about a relationship, it goes deeper into that. That means it's on a level of you start thinking about future. Mm-hmm. You start trying to tie in both of you guys together as one. How does that work out? You're figuring it out as you're going along, and that, to me, that's the relationship part of it. I'm not... I think that's what differentiates the two of companionship versus relationship.
So I read an article this morning, and it was called "Wanting Companionship versus Wanting Relationship." One of the things I saw in there that kind of, I ain't gonna say struck a nerve, but kind of like wow. It said some people secretly rather have an intimate companionship because a relationship requires too much work, like owning a house. Relationships require folks to compromise, to listen, to be patient, to say I'm sorry, to weather arguments and more. Some people just ain't ready for all that. What they really want is stay steady without all the strings attached. What's your thoughts?
I agree with that article. And basically, if you listen to it, some of it almost ties into when people talk about friends with benefits. That's why I always have a hard time when people saying friends with benefits, because to me, there's going to be some emotional attachment in there. So if the person you saying this is your friend with benefit, yada yada, and they have another friend that they have with benefit, how do you navigate through that? How do you say, okay, this is today's friends with benefit, you're tomorrow's friends with benefit? To me, it becomes really like convoluted, if that's the word I want to use. It becomes convoluted with
Let me look
all
that
these,
up. Hold on, Charlie.
with all these
Murky.
with all these different friends with benefits and all these different scenarios. I think from the beginning of what we said, I think the whole word dating scares people. It makes people feel uneasy and uncomfortable because, just like the author said, you have to take ownership and responsibility when you're in a relationship, and most people don't want to do that.
So I think it goes back to the discussion that we had a little earlier. You have to be willing and ready to tell people what it is that you want. If you go into any situation without clarity, listen, I'm just looking for fun. I like you. I think you're cute. Let's go out a couple times. And then it manifests into more.
Yeah.
Then you're talking about probably wanting something more. But as adults who have been crippled by not only society's ideas, who have not only been crippled by personal experiences and not only crippled by their personal thoughts, we have a personal and moral obligation to ourselves to dictate what is best for us. As adults, I think sometimes we don't have that foundation to just say, look, I'm not looking for that. I don't want that. This is not what I'm interested in. You're a cool movie partner, you're a cool club partner, but I don't necessarily see us transcending into anything beyond that. So we could talk around the world about this specific issue, but we also have to take responsibility for the energy that is around us, because if your energy is, I just want to go out, I just want to have fun, maybe I can smash after, that's a different thing. But if your energy is, I want you to come over for company, even though Unrestricted say he didn't like that, that's what you are. Yeah. I want you to come over. I want you to have a good time with me. I want you to engage with me. Let's talk about the last, not necessarily book. Let's talk about the last something that you read. Let's talk about the last project that you did. Like, these are things that we have to do in order to change that perspective of what dating is, what company is. I think we have a closed box on what it is because I think there's a comfort level to it. But in order to be successful, in order to be successful in the dating realm or the company world, you have to be wide open and say, look, I don't want that.
So let me ask you all this question. If you go out with a person more than once, is that dating or is that dates?
The intent to me. Thumper. If Thumper and I, so we went out once together. It was very brief, but we went out once together.
And I didn't order the food.
Right. But if we went out a second time, to me, I have no intent of a romantic relationship or doing anything other than hanging out with Thumper.
But it's still a date.
But to me, that's hanging out.
So, okay, let me ask Charlie.
It's whatever we defined it as.
Let's say if it's not a mutual definition. Let's just say, for instance, I just want to know from you all perspective right now, if you go out with a person more than once, are you dating or those are dates?
No, those were meetups.
Okay, Charlie said meetups.
It's just meetups.
They're meetups. There's nothing more to it.
Meetup should give you a check right now because you are plugging them, even though you're not even talking about them.
It
So is it dates or is
so-
it dating to you?
So for me, it depends on my level of interest. Because one thing about Thump is I typically don't pay for anything. So if I'm paying for something, if I'm investing my time, my resources, I may sway a little bit to the actual definition of dating per what you read on Wiki. But it's also who I'm hanging out with, what I'm doing. Like, I'm a little different like that. I'm still going to call me and you going out on a date. I'm still going to call that time we went to B-Dubs and I forgot to order the food and we had to wait 30 minutes. I'm still going to call that a date. Me and you had a lunch date. We had an afternoon date. But it's all about how you perceive the word. Words carry weight.
I mean, it's a date if there was agreement, there was thought put into it, there was intimate. It was an intimate moment. That's a date. But when you're talking about you just calling me up, hey, let's go hang out somewhere, let's go do this. It's a meetup. It's not a date.
Charlie, let's go have a lunch date. Let's have a lunch date Thursday.
We can meet up for lunch.
You pay for your food, she'll pay for her food, and y'all go home.
So I know why you're saying that. So if I wasn't married to Kandy, would that be the average Joe, same definition?
Exactly, it would be.
It's Charlie.
It
Wait,
would be.
so
It's
paying,
Charlie.
so
Okay.
paying for somebody heightens or lessens the definition of the date because
Not for me, it doesn't.
So if
I'll
so-
pay for stuff and it's still a meetup.
So you'll pay for me to
you are out of control.
let's meet up for my lunch tomorrow. Cause,
and it also how the
get paid
person
today,
initiates it. If I call Charlie or Thumper or Duane, be like, "Hey, what's up? You want to go on a date?" Then it's a date. I'm calling it a date. That's what I called it. Charlie might think it's a meetup, but I in my head think it's a date because I might be interested in you.
if I set
Which is
time
why
away from
you
you,
should say-
it's date to me.
So if you were to come to me and say, "Hey, let's go out on a date," then I'm like, "Okay, so what we doing?" And then I'm going down the. I got a whole bunch of questions.
Yes.
I got a whole bunch of
That is true.
questions.
What should I wear? What type of shoes?
No, she gonna ask. Is this a date? What do you want
it
out of this?
parking?
Are you trying to fuck me? Are you trying to just hang out?
I'm
What
trying
is
to
going on with
figure
your
out-
relationship? Why
could
do
be-
you calling this a date?
You can meet up with somebody, hang out with somebody. You can meet somebody on the side of the road helping you change your tire. You don't know what it's going to lead to, which is why I say that these words that we're using are kind of like they're unfounded. Like they're based off of a cultural definition on what we think it should be or what we think it is. I could say, Charlie, I love you. Kandy, I love you. I'm into you. Let's go meet up and still have sex. I could say, let's go on a date and never have sex with you. And the same feelings are still apply. It
True.
depends on your definition and
Exactly.
how you feel about it.
Right.
But certain things, in my opinion, should be considered a date. Certain things should be considered a meetup. If you're leaving your house with a change of drawers, a toothbrush, and a toothpaste, that's a meetup. If you're leaving making sure that your wallet is in the bag, not just to make sure that you have enough gas to get home because you're paying for somebody and you want to impress and some, blah, 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 that steers more to being a date. That's just me. But again, it varies based off of who's saying
Yeah.
what,
Your
what's going
intent.
on.
All right, so
Yeah.
I like.
So I can't go on a date with a whole bag.
Yeah, you can.
All right, so look, we like to try to give some feedback to the people who actually took time on our Facebook pages and kind of give some information. The question was, do you date for a relationship or companionship? My friend Lauren says companionship. Kenzie said both. I asked her which one she leans on the most. She said companionship. Sabrina says both. Same question. She said relationship. She depends on companionship comes with that. My man Johnny said for help. Sherry says both depends on the people she meets. Brandy says both. Quita says marriage. Now that kind of stuck me right there. I was kind of stuck on stupid on that one. But, she kind of gave a definition of it. She says, well, her and Sandy says, I agree. At the age/point in my life, I'm not dating anymore unless I think they are marriage material.
So I'm sorry, I was really busy at work today. Yeah, Unrestricted didn't remind me to make my post, so I waited really late. I only had 2 responses. The first person said, Jason said relationship, and the second person said for both.
And my friend Missy says she dates for companionship to see if they're relationship worthy. I thought that was a good one too. Tina said both. And I told her pick. She said, I told her pick. She said companionship. Never big on titles, so a relationship or gaining that title would be a plus. AR says she dates for observational purposes. Sharice says companionship. China, relationship. John says definitely companionship. Martin says, to me, companionship is the prelude to a relationship. Whatever that relationship may be, friends or lovers, I can't get into a relationship with them if we have not made a connection. I kickball friends are kind of deep.
I
all of a
know,
sudden,
right?
You know. Shamika says a relationship that only has the potential for marriage. Carissa says in companionship. Britt says both depends on the person and their qualities.
Facts.
So I told her pick one. Do she lean on the most? She said, I don't know. Shit just happens. I say companionship. If they turn into a relationship, I'm more than open to it than it was the past. I'm more than open to it than I was in the past for the right person.
I would love to have the follow-up question to be for those who answered the question. If it's not dating for companionship or if it's not dating for relationship, then what is it? Like
Most
what,
of them were saying kind of marriage. Yeah, because I mean that's what I'm saying.
what do you do when you go out? If you're not dating for companionship or you're not dating for relationship, what are you doing?
Dating
So-
for sex.
So I got you.
What if you just like being
I got you.
What if you just like being social? What if you like going out, engaging with people?
So is that
Like-
considered a date?
Facts.
Okay, so again, I'm gonna revert back to
Was it a meetup?
my sentiment. Let that go.
All right, hold on.
I'm
So-
gonna revert back to the sentiment that I had from the beginning.
This is gonna be your closing remarks. We only got 4 minutes now. Go,
Go for it.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it all reverts back to vernacular, your audience, your target, like what's going on. You can't come up with a concrete definition for something that is potentially life changing with so many variables. You have to know yourself. You have to know the people you're dealing with.
All right, Charlie, go.
I kind of don't agree with that is because I think that people are out here just to have fun and you box them in with saying that it's a date, it's this or is that when you're just having fun. So that's why I use the term meetup is because it's just having fun. Unless we actually define it, we sat down and talked about this and that we're going to move forward to a date, then it's just a meetup. We're just having fun.
Kenya says, neither I'm dating for marriage. If you're not, we're not dating. My relationship is first with God, and my companionship is with current friends and family until I'm married.
We already know. Yeah, it's some jokers I dated.
Al-
that I had no plans on marrying.
Al
so.
says he don't even know anymore. Says, both companionship leading to relationship leading to marriage. Angela says she doesn't date at all. We kind of went back and forth on that one. Shanice said neither. God is all the companion she'll ever need. A lot of women said companionship on my line, which was shocking because me and Kandy rebutted and said that most would think it would be relationship wise.
We're gonna discuss this off air. If you ask the question, original question, the way it was written, they would not have said companionship.
Well, you don't want to tell me changing. I would say dating versus dating.
No, if you would have said dating for company or dating for relationship, people
swear
would
I
have
don't
probably
say this company
moved.
thing.
I'm just saying, in your mind, because even when you said it, you thought company was a negative thing. So people might think
About me.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't speak for other people.
But some people want company. Some people are alone and
Yeah.
they want company.
That's why you got
And-
escorts.
You're not the only person who thinks like that, though.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm saying if you think the word company is negative, then more than likely somebody's gonna
Yeah.
think it.
Yeah. So,
All right, we got
what's your
we
final
got 2
thoughts?
minutes for.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes.
My final thoughts is, I have been very enlightened on the dating scene. Apparently, I've been doing it wrong all this time. So,
But you right now. You good.
I know. I don't have to worry about it.
You're not
My
wrong no more.
jersey
It's
in the Raptors
done.
now. My jersey in the Raptors.
You still got to date though. We still got to date each other.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true. That's true.
All right.
Are we dating or is it dates?
It
I
both.
need to know now.
You guys are dating.
We
still-
can't hang out.
Huh?
We can't hang out.
No,
So I
no,
can't
there's
get
no
That's new
meetups.
show.
You guys better not be
No
meeting
hang out
up.
with me.
You better not be
well.
meeting up.
What's your closing thoughts?
Whether you dating for company, companionship, or relationship, they all necessary to understand yourself and understand the person you're trying to be around.
Oh God, everybody getting deep tonight.
I know, right?
All right, look, y'all want to plug your social medias real quick? If y'all want to give it out, yes, no.
All the people are on here right now.
Okay.
You know, my
No?
Facebook is
All right.
closed.
So I definitely want to tell everyone, if you on February 14th through the 16th. We're doing a weekend ski trip. Go to kkse.club for more information.
All right. Also on Instagram, we Candid_discussion, Facebook Candid Discussion, Twitter K Discussion, and if you have any topics that you want us to talk about, go to candiddiscussions@gmail.com.
Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for coming on.
Thank you, Charlie and Thumper, for coming out tonight.
Thank you, Michael.
We appreciate you. We appreciate y'all. And we appreciate everybody tuning in and giving their input as well. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Thank you so much. Bye.